Dear friends, I'm Dr. David. After more than 30 years working in major hospitals across the United States, there's one question I've heard more times than I can count, usually right after a checkup. When a man finally exhales, smiles, and asks half-jokingly, "Doc, I heard oysters can boost a man's performance. Is that true?" Believe me, that question has never really been about oysters. It's a question about aging vitality and how a man feels about himself when he crosses that invisible line into his 50s or 60s. I usually smile and say, well, maybe, but the story isn't that simple. You see, age 50 is a milestone. The body begins to change quietly but noticeably. Testosterone, that essential male hormone, starts to decline about 1% every year. At first, you might just feel a little more tired after a long day. Then gradually your energy drops. Sleep becomes lighter, and those intimate moments with your partner grow fewer, slower. Sometimes not quite the same anymore. Many men feel embarrassed by that, or assume it's just a sign of getting old. But I want you to understand something: it's natural. And more importantly, it can be improved if we learn to listen to our bodies and give them what they truly need. I remember one of my patients, Robert, 62, a man who used to be full of life. He came to see me and said, "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore." After some tests, I found his testosterone levels were quite low. So I guided him to change his diet, and one of the things I suggested was to include oysters in his weekly meals. 3 months later, he came back smiling. "Doc," he said, "my wife says I look younger again." We both laughed, but deep down that moment meant something real. Because health isn't just about lab numbers. It's about how alive you feel inside. In today's video, I want to talk openly, simply, and honestly about the connection between oysters and sexual vitality after 50. Not as some kind of miracle cure, but as a gift from nature to those who know how to respect and care for their bodies. So if you've ever heard about oysters as a symbol of male strength, stay with me until the end. Because you'll discover that true vitality doesn't come from a single food, it comes from understanding awareness and self-care. And if you find this topic worth exploring, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, so you won't miss the next videos where we'll keep learning how to protect our health, our energy, and our happiness after 50. Now, I want you to imagine this: every morning you look in the mirror and still see the same man you've always been. But somewhere in your eyes, you notice a quiet change. You're not sure if it's your body slowing down or your mind feeling less excited. Many men in their 50s tell me, "Doc, I just feel different." Not exactly weaker, but missing something they can't quite name. And most of the time, that something is testosterone, the silent force that has carried them through youth and adulthood. Testosterone is like an invisible current flowing through a man's body. It's not only about sexuality, it affects mood, muscle, strength, memory, and confidence. But starting around age 40, those levels begin to drop. By 50, the body produces much less, and the change is subtle, but profound. You may notice you're no longer as enthusiastic about the things you used to love. Fatigue comes easier, sleep feels lighter, and some days you just feel low for no reason. And sometimes that spark in your relationship begins to fade, even though the love is still there. I remember another patient of mine, Samuel, 58, a former bodybuilder. He said, "Doc, I still work out every morning. I eat clean, but lately, I just don't feel the same." When we checked, his testosterone levels were about 40% below average. Instead of jumping straight to medication, we began with lifestyle and nutrition changes, including zinc-rich foods like oysters, more sleep, less stress, and light morning exercise. 2 months later, Samuel returned with a genuine smile and said, "I don't just feel stronger, Doc. I feel alive again." I share this story so, low testosterone is not the end of manhood. It's simply your body's way of whispering, "Take better care of me." When we nurture ourselves through good nutrition, movement, rest, and emotional balance, the body often finds its natural rhythm again. And in the next parts of this series, I'll show you why oysters, such a simple, humble food, can help awaken the body's inner vitality safely and naturally. If you found this story helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Share your thoughts, your questions, or even your own story. You never know. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Dear friends, over the years in my medical career, I've seen countless nutrition trends come and go, from supplements and miracle boosters to all kinds of so-called magic tonics. But there's one thing that has stood the test of time: the oyster. I remember one of my older patients, Jonathan, who came into my office chuckling. After reading online that oysters are the secret to staying virile, he looked at me and asked, "Doc, is it true? Can eating oysters really bring back my strength?" I smiled and said, "There's no magic that simple, Jonathan. But if any food could be called a loyal friend of a man's vitality, oysters would be near the top. What's fascinating is there's nothing mystical about it. The truth is scientific. Oysters are among the richest natural sources of zinc on the planet. Just one small oyster can contain around 10 million of zinc, nearly half of your daily intake. Zinc helps your body naturally produce testosterone, support sexual health, and boosts energy. When we're young, we rarely think about minerals. But after 50, every small detail matters. A prolonged zinc deficiency can make you feel fatigued and affect mood and focus. Studies have shown low zinc can reduce testosterone, and restoring it helps balance hormones. That's why men in coastal areas tend to have lower sexual dysfunction rates. But what I love most about oysters isn't just their nutrition, it's what they represent. A gift from the sea full of energy, flavor, and patience. Eating oysters isn't something you rush. You have to slow down and appreciate the moment. It's a lot like love and intimacy after 50, deeper, calmer, filled with appreciation. When you enjoy an oyster, don't think of it as fuel for performance. Think of it as nourishment for your whole being, body, and soul. Maybe that's the real secret to lasting vitality after 50. In the next part, we'll talk about why too many oysters can actually do harm. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And share your own experiences in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else. Dear friends, I know what you might be thinking. If oysters are good, the more the better. Let me tell you a story. One of my patients, Richard, 55, loved the ocean. He started eating oysters every single day raw, believing it would boost testosterone. 3 weeks later, Richard came back with stomach discomfort and constant fatigue. His copper levels had dropped dangerously low while zinc was off the charts. The human body is delicate, even the good stuff needs balance. Too much zinc blocks copper absorption, weakens immunity, and stresses your liver. So I told him, Richard, oysters are a gift. But even gifts should be respected. Eating too much won't make you stronger. It might do the opposite. Eat oysters wisely 2 to 3 times a week, 4 to 6 oysters each time. Choose fresh, clean oysters from reliable sources. Raw oysters can carry Vibrio bacteria, dangerous for people with liver or immune issues. If you're over 50, eat oysters lightly cooked, steamed, or grilled. Oysters aren't magic, but when eaten right, they restore the body's natural rhythm. Health after 50 isn't about eating more. It's about knowing when to stop. Just like in love, true strength comes from balance and awareness. If you found this message helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your story might be the one that helps someone else. Dear friends, if you think oysters are just about zinc, you're missing the most beautiful part of this ocean gift. I still remember years ago when I was teaching a class to medical students. One of them raised his hand and asked me, "Doctor, what's so special about oysters that the whole world calls them the food of men?" I smiled and said, "Because inside that small, humble shell lies a natural energy no medicine can truly imitate." Let me explain. Beyond zinc, oysters are packed with omega-3, vitamin B12, taurine, and selenium. 4 nutrients that quietly fuel vitality, focus, and strength from within. Omega-3 is like the lubricant for your circulatory system. It keeps your blood flowing smoothly and your heart young. You see, a man's strength isn't only about hormones, it's also about blood flow. When circulation weakens, everything else begins to slow down. I once had a patient, George, 63, who said he felt like he had lost his spark. After adjusting his diet, adding more fatty fish and oysters, cutting down fried foods. Just 2 months later, he told me, "Doc, I don't just feel stronger, I feel clearer. My mind feels alive again." That's the quiet magic of omega-3. It renews not only your body, but also your spirit. Then there's vitamin B12, like a tiny battery that powers your brain cells. When your B12 is low, fatigue, dizziness, and poor focus follow. After 50, our bodies absorb less of it, so getting it naturally from oysters is a real gift. Taurine is another hidden hero, an amino acid that acts like the conductor of your heart. It helps regulate heartbeat, lower blood pressure, and calm the nervous system. I like to call it the rhythm keeper of life. And then we have selenium, one of nature's strongest antioxidants. It protects your cells from premature aging like a shield for your internal organs. When combined with zinc, it supports sperm health, stamina, and overall vitality. All these nutrients working together inside one small oyster create a source of natural, sustainable energy. Not the kind of artificial boost you get from pills or stimulants. I often tell my patients, if testosterone is the flame, the nutrients in oysters are the oxygen that keeps it burning warm and steady. So eating oysters isn't just about being stronger. It's about nourishing life from within, waking up each morning still feeling energetic, inspired, and confident in who you are. If this message speaks to you, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. so we can keep walking this path of rediscovering health and vitality together. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt the power of the ocean through this simple food? I'd love to hear your story. Dear friends, when people hear the word oyster, most immediately think of it as a man's food. But the truth is, oysters aren't just for men. For women especially, after 50 oysters offer powerful benefits for health, mood, and even intimacy. Let's start with zinc, the star mineral. In women, zinc helps balance key reproductive hormones like estrogen and progesterone. During perimenopause and menopause, these hormones fluctuate dramatically, causing dryness, fatigue, mood swings, insomnia, and even mild depression. Zinc supports the pituitary gland and ovaries, helping your body naturally restore hormone balance. Zinc also supports skin, hair, and nails concerns many women have as they age. When your zinc levels are healthy, your collagen production improves, keeping your skin firm, smooth, and radiant. That's why many nutrition experts call oysters the ocean's natural beauty food. Beyond zinc, oysters are rich in selenium, omega-3, vitamin B12, and iron, all essential for circulation, energy, and brain health. After 50, both the brain and the heart need extra care. Selenium and omega-3 protect nerve cells and help prevent memory decline, while vitamin B12 lifts fatigue and supports a stable mood. When all of these work together, women feel more vibrant, joyful, and confident inside and out. And here's something many don't realize: oysters can also naturally rekindle desire in women. When hormones are balanced, blood flow improves and mood brightens. Intimacy returns more easily. Many of my female patients over 50 have told me, after adding oysters to my meals, I feel lighter, more alive, and somehow the spark came back. I often remind them oysters aren't a miracle, they're a gentle gift from nature for both men and women. They help men sustain their strength and help women rediscover youthfulness, balance, and joy. In the next part, we'll talk about how to eat oysters safely and smartly to get the full benefits without health risks. Because when eaten the right way, oysters truly reveal their full power. Dear friends, many people believe that just eating oysters regularly is enough to maintain their vitality. But as a doctor, I must be honest with you, food is only a small part of the bigger picture of health. If you truly want to feel the full benefits of oysters, the energy, vitality, and loving connection, you need to combine them with a lifestyle that's healthy, balanced, and sustainable. Let's start with sleep. I once had a patient, Robert, 63 years old. He ate well, took zinc supplements, but still felt tired and said his desire had faded. After checking, I found out he was only sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night. You see, testosterone, the hormone that fuels strength and desire, is produced most abundantly during deep sleep. So no matter how many oysters you eat, if you don't rest enough, your body can't truly benefit from them. Next, let's talk about physical movement. Just a brisk 30-minute walk each day or a few gentle yoga poses can do wonders for your circulation, heart health, and vitality. A Harvard study found that men over 50 who exercise regularly have up to 20% higher testosterone levels. Then comes balanced nutrition. Oysters are an incredible source of zinc, but your body also needs vitamin C, B6, magnesium, and protein to properly produce hormones. So pair oysters with greens, fruits, nuts, fatty fish, and whole grains. A balanced meal, not just oysters, gives your body true energy and resilience. And please don't forget your emotional health. Stress, anxiety, or relationship tension can lower desire faster than any diet can fix. I often tell my patients a quiet dinner with someone you love, a few oysters, a glass of wine, and a genuine smile can sometimes work better than any pill. Love, understanding, and emotional connection, those are the most powerful vitamins of all. Finally, treat oysters as your partner on the journey toward a healthier life. Eat wisely, sleep well, stay active, and live with gratitude. Turning 50 isn't the end of passion, it's the beginning of something deeper and wiser. If you find these insights helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story below. Your journey might inspire countless others over 50 who are finding their way back to vitality and joy. Dear friends, we've walked quite a journey together, from understanding why oysters are called the gift of the sea, to learning how to eat them wisely and combine them with a healthy lifestyle to stay strong and joyful after 50. Now I'd like us to pause and reflect on what truly matters most. Many people after crossing 50 often feel like it's too late. The body slows down, energy fades, and intimacy seems to drift away with the years. But that's only a feeling, not the truth. I've met so many patients who thought their best years were behind them until they started making small changes. They ate mindfully, added oysters to their dinners, exercised, slept better, laughed more. And most importantly, they began talking openly again with their partners. A few months later, something beautiful happened. Their eyes brightened, Their voices grew livelier. Their hearts felt young again. Sexual vitality after 50 isn't just about biology. It's about connection, body, mind, and soul in harmony. One oyster, one good night's sleep, one warm smile, one loving touch, all nourish that inner fire. Turning 50 isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. A deeper, wiser chapter where true vitality comes from balance, compassion, and love. If you care for your body with knowledge and your heart with love, your passion and joy will never fade. I, Dr. David, truly believe age doesn't take away your vitality, poor habits do. So today, make a promise to yourself: eat better, move more, love deeper. Let each day be filled with meaning, in a meal, a glance, a kind word. Before we close, if you found this message helpful, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And please leave a comment below. What do you think about today's topic? Have you tried adding oysters to your diet? Or do you have your own secret to staying passionate after 50? I'd love to hear your story. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Stay healthy, live fully, and never forget, age is just a number. Vitality and love can last a lifetime. I'm Dr. David. See you in the next video. Wishing you peace, strength, and a heart that stays forever warm.